Welcome to the Gathering Greenhouse, a podcast to help us grow together. David is back.
I'm back.
He is back, and we also have
Schwarzenegger.
And yeah, and we also have Andrew. He's on camera, right?
What's up?
You didn't put him on camera. Okay,
That
good.
camera right
Andrew.
there.
Oh no, we put him on camera.
What's up,
And
church?
he has a mic too.
I do.
And we got John,
We're here.
and then what's his face behind?
Matt's back as well.
Matt's back too.
From Florida.
Matt, was that your first plane trip?
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Congratulations.
That was also my niece's.
Why didn't you take a more exciting trip?
Is it
If we
because
were-
you've been on the no-fly list so long?
Yeah,
Finally-
that's why.
It's 20 years
Makes
since
sense.
something happened. I don't know.
So my 3-year-old niece is in double digits.
Okay.
On plane trips. And this is my first, and I'm 31.
Did you hit any turbulence?
Yeah.
Did you scream like a baby?
No.
This is Matt as he's taking off.
I was looking outside the damn window, watching everything shrink.
Do you know it's not actually shrinking?
No, it's shrinking.
Yeah, it
John.
is.
It's shrinking. It's getting smaller when you go up in the air.
We live in a simulation.
Nothing is real.
So, David, you missed last week where we started the competition between the
It's off
Chip
to a really bad
challenge.
start.
Chip madness.
By the
Chip
way,
Madness.
It's already going bad.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the way it's been going
You
so far.
You do realize Doritos lost, right? You heard that.
Well, they lost to Pringles, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Plain-
okay with that.
What?
No. Nacho cheese Doritos lost to plain Pringles.
I just think it's
And I think that's an
dumb that
abomination.
those two are playing each other in the first round. That's just
I think we get it
foolishness.
with
telling you.
barbecue Pringles or something.
You know,
like that.
if I was making it for adults, it'd be different.
It's like we're gonna say, look, we're gonna have an
How-
8-team tournament. We're
Yeah.
gonna have the top 2 seeds play each other
How would
first.
it be different?
You would think you say original Pringles is a number
not
2
top-
team.
Top seed.
Well, I would say
disagree.
that I wouldn't necessarily say one over the other with Pringles and nacho cheese Doritos, but I would say they're the top 2.
No.
I
I
like
don't
them
agree.
both.
I think the top 4 slots are taken all by Doritos. Different flavors of Doritos.
We could have just done a
What else
Doritos
is there
bracket.
besides nacho cheese and Cool Ranch?
Sweet and chili,
Sweet chili.
Never had
salsa verde. Salsa
Never had
verde is
Should
Not
give,
interested.
should give them a
is really
try.
good, too.
Not
spicy
interested.
nacho.
Spicy nacho
Not
is probably my
interested.
number 4.
Not-
Why
Not
are you not
interested.
interested?
What about the salsa verde?
Be content with what you have, man. I mean, you got a good thing. You don't have to go looking for something new.
At what point should we be content and no longer advance things?
Now.
Because
Never.
you
Right
say that
now.
after
Never.
the Pringle,
Listen,
which came
Taco
after
Bell
the Lay's.
comes out with a new item all the time, and I'm going to try it every single time.
You get notifications like they do like early releases on Tuesdays if you're
Fire
elite
reward.
Fire Reward member.
How do you become a fire reward member?
You spend way too much-
eat too much
Way
Taco Bell?
money at Taco Bell in a year.
I don't know if you should be proud of that.
It's
I just
actually,
saw a
it's
fist
actually
bump
it's
going
a
on.
really low.
I think don't
bar.
you
And if
get
you
your
hit
fire
kids, you hit it
reward every
real
time
quick.
you eat at Taco
The
Bell?
price of tacos.
later.
Yeah.
The price of tacos, you're not really spending a whole lot on Taco Bell. It's the medical bills later of eating that much Taco Bell that catches up with you
See,
that
my
I'm
plan
experiencing
is
now.
to just die from eating too much Taco Bell before that happens.
There you go.
And we were spiraling out of control here. So originally we started talking about
Chips.
Chips.
Yep.
So Andrew, you're the chip expert here.
All right, so we
We're
got
not talking about your golf game.
our second
We're
round
talking about
here.
Punch and John.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I just totally dropped a joke that nobody in this room is going to get but me.
because
I
of
didn't
the
hear it.
TV show Chips.
Workplace violence is not a
Two fist
laughing matter.
bumps
David.
already in the
All right.
podcast.
First matchup is our Takis Fuego.
I like Takis.
Versus
Wait, do we have to eat this stuff or we're just
Cheetos.
voting?
No,
No, you
gotta
have to eat it.
You gotta
How
eat
else are you gonna tell?
So
Which
here,
one is
I'll
better?
hand you guys this
I
one
already
first.
know.
And me and John will get the Takis out.
Here, why don't you put some in them? I brought some bowls this time.
Bowls. How am I supposed to eat the whole bag out of a bowl?
I feel like I should have skipped this podcast.
Also,
There you go.
why does
What is
Cheetos
it?
get to tell me what size of party I'm gonna have?
Does this say family?
No, it says party size.
Well, yeah, all Cheetos
They
are
s-
party Cheetos.
Yeah.
I'll trade you.
No matter what
What is
size,
it- what
is-
you can
what-
have a party with any size of
So-
Cheetos.
There you
Why
go.
is this party size?
One of my favorite.
Why are
eat
we
those ones.
angry about this stuff? It's just everybody's so
One of my favorite
like on edge over
I'm
the
just
chips.
I'm just
Internet
observant.
memes
Like
was,
everybody's mad that I like Pringles more than I like Doritos.
At what point does
I just-
passion turn into anger?
now?
I just
Chips.
You know,
What is
'cause
what is this even? I don't even know what this is.
a Taki.
it's a
Ooh.
Taki.
It's what all the kids.
These
eat.
are like the TikTok
But these-
sensation
You know what Fuego
chips
means?
right here.
Yes.
Okay,
Fuego.
good. For our
I don't even want. I don't even want to eat these.
They're
too
good.
bad.
Cheeto first. Cheeto first. Don't start out spicy.
But let's just can we? Oh yeah, Cheetos. I don't think needs a whole lot of explanation. Just cheese
I
flavor.
love Cheetos.
Okay.
Doritos and then Cheetos.
I can't
think,
do just
in
one Cheeto at a
general.
time, so I'm gonna grab a few.
Oh,
In general.
I guess I could have offered this bowl.
No, I got a whole table here. I got chips from 3 weeks ago too. I thought Matt was going to eat these.
All right,
All right.
I'm good. I got my vote.
Takis. Oh, you got to try it. You got to try Takis.
Taki. Grab that. Okay.
I like Takis, but
They're actually not like they're
Fuego.
so here's the problem with the Taki. I like it as a snack. I never think of it as a chip. You know, it's not that thing.
Okay.
If you want chips, I
Yeah.
never like.
Explain that a little bit. What do you mean? Like,
It's crunchy. It's good, but I never when I'm thinking of chips, it never crosses my mind.
It feels like it's more in the pretzel family.
it's a little crunchy, a little sturdy.
I just
Pretzel
know that
family.
this is a very natural color
I'm-
right here.
yeah.
All
It's-
chips should be this red.
I was thinking because you
I
know
like 'em.
is Taki Spanish or is it made up? Because Fuego's definitely Spanish. So is it like popular in the Hispanic community or is it just
I don't know.
we don't know any of this
I don't know
information.
any of this,
But to
but-
me, so the only reason I ask, it seems like like an enchilada or something rolled up. You know, like it reminds me of something small or.
Okay. I
So
mean,
that's why I was thinking that.
so what do you guys think? Let's vote
Well-
here. Who's gonna go with Cheetos? On this?
Cheetos are the best.
It's
Clearly
obviously
Cheetos, but I love
See,
Cheetos.
no, I am on Camp Takis. Like
Okay.
when I eat this, I want more of this. Like I'm a Camp Takis.
you're saying
I
if
do
you're
like
on
the
an
Takis.
island and you only get one of these for the rest of your life, you're picking the Taki?
Is that the level we
I
should
just
be?
keep eating Cheetos, trying to get the taste of the Taki out of my mouth.
I like the Cheetos that are like kind of fatter.
I like these.
You know,
What are these exactly? What's the difference? Like the original Cheetos are the big.
The puffs.
The puffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, that's the
crunchy.
original.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm asking.
I think the
I thought
puffs
this was original.
I don't know.
Well, there's a
The
cheese
puffs are-
puffs and then Cheetos, which are
I-
the crunchy.
I like the crunchier ones better, but I think that means that they're deep fried too.
Well,
Probably it's
gu-
probably worse for
Can
you.
you guys guess which one the teens picked?
Takis.
Obviously,
I'm gonna
the
go
Takis.
Cheetos.
They make horrible decisions.
Did you?
They did pick Takis. So Takis won this round. Second round.
There
here.
is no hope for our world.
Second round. This is the one where I got disappointed.
So we're like
Hey, Matt.
Takis really really
I guess
popular.
you're hating my Gatorade.
Takis is like
you could grab it
seriously
by the
they're
door.
popular.
They're really popular right now. Takis have become super popular.
Okay.
But our next round
Need a
is
drink.
our cheddar sour cream versus now flaming hot Cheetos.
know what
Flaming
I'm
hot
gonna pick.
Let's David already doesn't want to eat the flaming hot Cheetos.
You don't like the Flamin' Hots?
I just don't understand
We're just
why
gonna-
we can't just have potato chips. Let's have Doritos and it
Potato
just-
chips, vanilla ice cream.
No.
What else do we need?
You can have Doritos. We should have Doritos.
I'm
right?
just noticing now that these color, when I put them side by side, the colors are very similar.
Also,
You need that one too.
about Cheetos. The original
Got a handful.
Cheetos
Ah!
is the crunchy
All right.
Cheeto.
Okay, I was right.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you,
I
Matt.
want everybody to note that.
All right, before we get to the spicy, let's do the cheddar
Everybody
sour
out
cream.
there,
Out there.
right now,
I was correct.
on your notes that you're taking with the podcast.
Yes.
Write down. Steve was right.
Thank you, David.
was
I
right.
appreciate
Yeah.
your support
10
on this.
points to Gryffindor.
Steve's not Gryffindor.
Where are we starting?
We're starting.
Hufflepuff.
Ouch. Ouch.
Steve's
I see,
Hufflepuff.
I see
Hufflepuff for
how
sure.
you view me now.
I'm not Gryffindor.
David's definitely Slytherin.
Yeah, there's no question about that.
Definitely Slytherin. That's obvious. You would fit in well
Mary Ann
there.
called me Slytherin last night.
What's the fourth one? I can't remember.
Ravenclaw.
Jigglypuff? Ravenclaw.
Jigglypuff.
Raven Doodle.
That's so Ravenclaw.
Charizard. All right, let's do the cheddar sour cream
Don't you
first.
think you're? What is it? A Hufflepuff? Is that what it is?
I think Steve's a
I think that's
Hufflepuff.
what you are.
I would be a good Quibbage player.
It's
Quibbage?
not Quibbage.
Squibbage.
Squibbage. Gribbage player.
Squib is
Squid Games.
someone
Yeah.
who's
Squid
born
Games,
to
that's what we're
magical
talking
parents but is not magical.
Okay.
That's a
The
squib.
cross section of the people who think Squid Games is the best show on the planet, and people who think this is the best chip, is probably like a 100% matched Venn diagram.
Venn diagram, absolutely. I had a hard time finishing the Harry Potter series. I did it, but
Is it because
I wouldn't
love
keep
them.
talking right now.
I know.
You're gonna like you're
Sounded out.
losing
I'm
so much
I'm
credibility.
angering people.
Yeah. I mean, I can't believe you said that.
So back to chips.
It doesn't surprise. It's
And honestly, I'm a little bit with you though,
Yeah.
because at the last one was broken into two parts,
Yeah.
right? And at the end of the first part, I was like, that they should end it right there because it was right when Dumbledore died and Voldemort won, and I was like, that's it, right there, that's the end. Let's
Spoken
leave
like
it
a
there.
true Slytherin.
Yeah. All right, let's do cheddar sour
Okay.
cream. Let's get back on the chips here. Cheddar sour cream.
That's a really good chip.
It's an
there's a
excellent
good chip.
But here's the problem with this
Nice
chip.
crunch.
You can tell they put a lot of work to get that like as good as it is. Mm-hmm. And there's just something when something's too perfect that it's not perfect anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Disagree.
I would say
Disagree.
that the balance of flavors is really good.
This
I
has
love it.
long been my travel chip.
I can tell
Oh,
they
you
just
don't-
put
That's
too
a
much.
top
They
three
put
chip
too
for
much
me.
into it.
Yeah.
You
So
get nice cheddar and you get nice sour cream together.
This chip doesn't quite taste wise
me
get
get
to the
another
nacho cheese or the Pringle, but for traveling, it's better than both because the Pringle is tough to get your hand into if you're a man.
Yeah.
Right. You can't get your hand down the can, so you have to have,
like, I got
a
it.
woman
If you-
with you.
why
to
can't
get
we
your
just say
Pringles
if you have
for
small hands?
I'm
Because
just saying.
I can almost get my hand in a Pringles can.
Yeah. All right. Well.
You're gonna brag about that on the podcast.
I'm not bragging
Yes.
about it. I'm
I
just,
gotta
I'm
send you
just
a Trump
saying.
clip about
I'm
that.
just,
And obviously, while you're driving, the nacho cheese just gets all over your hand.
exactly.
So
It's
these are the perfect travel chip right here.
have you tried the queso version
Of
it?
what?
Of what?
Of Ruffles
I don't know
queso.
that I would won't ever be able to pick something over these.
I agree.
That, you know,
I agree. This is better, but the queso ones are pretty good.
Again, I go to my thing. Why can't we just like find something good and stick with it? Be there. All right, this was good. Let's just keep this.
Okay, so here's my question
diversity.
though. Like, do you eat the same meal? Like, could you eat like the same meals every single
Depending
day?
on the Me? meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you have no problem with that.
Well, it all-
I think
it all-
for a
it
lot
all
of people, they
tastes
get
the same,
tired.
David.
They get tired of eating the same thing over
Not
and
if
over
I
again.
like it.
Like especially my kids.
Oh, these are good.
Every
I don't
time
know
I go
about-
to a restaurant, I do get the same meal. That's
Yeah,
me. Like,
but
Yes,
I'd say
I do too.
restaurant is to me a little bit different because I don't get to go to restaurants very often. So if there's something I like, I'm probably going to get that.
That's what it is.
But
if I find something I really like, and restaurants are so expensive, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
chance
exactly.
$10 to $20 on something that I might not enjoy as much as the thing I know I really like.
Yeah.
I think it
I
happened when
would
I
be
was a kid.
perfectly happy
Now it's-
eating nothing but peanut butter and jelly the rest of my life.
Ooh.
Can't. Will you?
Wait, Smucker's Uncrustable peanut butter and jelly.
Will you?
Will I what?
Will you commit to that right now today on the podcast? Will you commit to only eating peanut butter and jelly?
I don't
for the
think my,
rest
I don't
of
think my
your life?
wife would appreciate that.
Marianne, let us know if you're
You
in.
could save so much money though. You know.
I'd be totally happy with that. Yeah.
Well, now, wait. When you say peanut butter and jelly, are you sticking to one type of jelly, or are you going to change it
Okay.
up?
I mean, I don't mind changing it up, but I could probably stick to one
You're getting
kind.
some more.
No, once again, party size here, but can you guess how much this bag of chips, the suggested price is?
$5.19.
I was going to say it's probably like
$12.
$4, $4 to $5.
Matt is the closest, $7.29 for what used party size. I just
Wait,
want to
wait,
point.
wait, wait,
party
wait, wait.
size used to be the regular size.
that's
of
actually-
chips.
That's a regular
From
bag
where?
of chips.
No, this
From
says
where?
party size.
I know,
on
I'm
it.
saying, but that
This
to me
is
is a
right.
regular bag of
Where was
chips.
this purchased from?
I don't know where.
Kroger.
This is what
Wow.
a bag of chips used to look like before the pandemic.
That used to be
Thank
like the bag you
Joe
bought at the
Biden.
gas station. I'm just kidding. One of my favorite
We've had
internet
Trump
memes.
and Biden in this podcast so
One of
far.
my favorite internet memes was something like, I thought I was just one person, but according to the box of Kraft mac and cheese, I'm a family of four.
Any bag of chips can be an individual bag of chips if you try hard enough.
All right, so what's the
telling
next?
you,
What's the
free
next?
flavor.
All right,
These chips are
Flamin'
gonna be
Hot
really small.
Cheetos.
Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Flamin'
okay.
Hot Cheetos.
This one looks amazing right here. Is it? David's
I don't
trying
know if
to.
I've ever had a flaming hot Cheeto.
They're actually, I like them.
I know
They're
I don't want
addicting.
to.
They're an okay snack. I would rather have a regular Cheeto, I think.
Yeah.
That's where the beauty of the cheddar jalapeno Cheeto.
Yes.
It just sits between, and it has a way better flavor than this.
More
I
natural.
totally
Way
don't
more
get
natural.
it. I don't get it at all.
I get it. I like it.
I think there's this
I can
whole.
barely tell the difference between that and a regular Cheeto.
So
Really?
I
You don't
think-
even get the heat.
I got a little bit of the heat, but I think the
Yeah,
Taki
keep
was
eat-
hotter, right?
It's different.
They look like
They're a
it
little
could be
bit
covered
different.
in the exact
The
same
Cheeto
thing.
has
Wait,
more
I'm
of a
gonna try
time
the Taki.
release
Here we go.
heat.
Yeah, try a Taki now, but maybe not David because he doesn't want to.
There's way more flavor on the Taki.
Way
There
more.
It's more natural. Well, I
More
won't say
natural.
natural.
Lime. It's got lime.
It's better. Yeah.
So there's a whole
Flavoring's
genre
better.
of snacks that I think targets middle school to like freshmen in college, where like the goal is just to eat the spiciest thing to prove your manliness, not actually to enjoy the flavor of something.
Yeah.
And I think flaming hot Cheetos are the staple of that. Yeah. Like
Because it's not like
just
necessarily
dumb.
great
it's not,
tasting.
it's not great. There's no benefit in the flavor to that spice.
All right. Hands up for cheddar sour cream ruffles.
Definitely.
So I put my hands up.
Raise
I
your
do
hand
like-
if you
I do like
think
Flamin' Hot.
Raise your hand if you think the teens picked Flamin' Hot Cheetos over that.
Yes.
What did I
think so.
just say?
I think so. So they
What-
picked all the
I
spicy
will say
stuff.
this was close. I even made an appeal for cheddar sour cream. I was like, guys, this is a great chip. And
You were trying to sway
I
them.
tried, even though I shouldn't
would
do it.
love
but
to know the breakdown of the boys to girls
Yeah.
in that vote.
It's actually we're pretty healthy in between. Balanced there. I'd say we have probably a little bit more boys, like 65%.
Who voted for the?
Oh, I don't know about the vote.
This is what I would love to know. Like, you know,
Actually, the girls, most of them all voted for spicy chips.
Really?
Like picturing it in my
There's
mind.
no hope for this world.
it's because you know we're slowly
So
following
the
gender
semifinals
ambiguity
of
and-
this is
I'm just kidding.
Takis versus Flamin' Hot Cheetos next week,
I
and
think
then
Takis are gonna
Cool
win.
Ranch versus
Takis,
Pringles.
of those two, Takis better win.
The Taki is definitely more flavorful.
I actually like. I would consider buying a bag of Takis at a gas station.
So are you going
I
to end
don't
up with
think
a
I'd ever come
final
back.
of the Takis against the Cool Ranch Doritos?
Still eating them. See,
Probably.
or Pringles. So it's Pringles and Cool Ranch next week, and
They're
then
going to pick Cool
Takis
Ranch because they
and Flamin'
obviously
Hot.
have zero taste.
I don't
Just
know.
like a
I
plain
will
Pringle.
say
Zero
Pringles beat
taste.
Doritos pretty handedly the first week, which I thought was
I
weird.
think what we should do is have like do fruits.
so
like
this is what I'm-
bananas
fruits
and
versus
vegetables.
grapes.
I
They
was
won't know how to
thinking
open
about
them up.
versus
Oranges
vegetables.
versus apples.
I was thinking about your poll last week. One of the things I think might have skewed it is you had nacho cheese Doritos against Pringles.
Top two chips.
And, well, but here's where I think that it could
not
have been
letting that
skewed a
go.
little bit. Is it sounded like you were comparing nacho cheese Doritos to all flavors of Pringles, and
Yeah.
Pringles as a category.
That's true.
When really it was plain Pringles versus nacho cheese Doritos, and I'm wondering if that distinction would have been made a little bit more clear. I wonder if it would have been a little bit different. 'Cause
I don't
I'm
think
still
the team,
so
I don't
confused
think
about
they're
that.
thinking that. They're
I
just
don't think they
eating
think.
it and saying, "I like this one."
Yeah.
this
There's
one.
not much
the
thought process
plum
going on.
Is an underrated fruit.
Yeah.
What fruit?
The plum.
Isn't a plum and a prune the same thing?
No.
They're not.
We're not the same thing. But
prune is
a
itself.
prune is a plum. A plum is not a prune.
I don't even know who you are.
Doesn't like Harry Potter.
What?
Yeah, I mean, don't like Harry Potter. Don't know the difference between a plum and a prune.
Aren't they like? Isn't a prune a like dehydrated
just kidding.
plum? Is that not true?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't think so.
And how do you juice a prune?
I think
my favorite
I think
fruit,
a prune is just a raisin on steroids.
Okay.
Yeah.
a prune is a dried, sun-dried plum. You are right about that.
Okay.
But
Once
the
again,
nectarine is,
Steve is 2 for 2
I
on
think, my
his
favorite
theories.
Write it down.
Okay. Well, should we
Duran.
should we talk about something more
Duran,
serious?
I
Should
don't know
we
how you
should we
I don't
transition
know
here?
that that's going to help. but
I did have one more question
could be
for
in
Andrew
chips.
about this. Is did you do these chips like was a chip thing in the beginning or was it after you?
It's at the beginning, so
Okay.
It's
it's like.
definitely
How much-
not before you preach the gospel.
And what's funny is like because like I have each kid
Maybe
get
you should change that.
at the end. What's
You
funny?
need to give your life to Jesus and pick Doritos.
Doritos. Well, so it's funny because like each kid has 2 chips, and so like I'm like, hey, we're gonna try these at once.
It's like
And-
communion.
And, well, one of my leaders like this seems like a really bad communion that we're doing. Like,
Yeah.
everyone take the Doritos and eat.
Do this and remember.
Can you do communion with Doritos? Is that
Can you-
possible?
Like, can you? Like, are there people out there who would
Like,
do
let's
it?
say we were on
Are
a
you?
deserted island and, you
Okay,
know, we only had Doritos.
I would
Could we do-
100% guarantee there is either some crazy mega church or some small, young, hip church trying to be clever and
Yeah.
whatever that has done.
Doritos and Mountain Dew.
Yeah,
Doritos and Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
The church I was at before I came to the gathering, they for communion did King's Hawaiian rolls, and Welch's grape juice. You would take that and then you start shaking.
I mean, I like King's Hawaiian rolls.
Oh, we would after
I would want to put like
after,
some ham in it.
After second service, we'd always go
Some
back
butter.
into the kitchen and eat the leftover rolls. It was
Wait. Let's
great.
talk about that for a second. The whole butter on a ham sandwich thing.
I don't think I've ever put butter.
I
on
don't think
ham.
I have
You
either.
ever
You
I
mean
had
mayonnaise?
that. It sounds like it could be good. Butter is good on anything.
No, it is not
Are you
good.
talking
not
like
good?
melted butter over?
No, like people.
How
like,
does butter not make something better though? I've never.
it doesn't go with ham? It doesn't go with the ham on a
Really?
King's Hawaiian roll. No, you've never
Bad
had that.
idea.
Like you had to go to
No.
like some church function and
Someone
you know,
did that.
somebody put butter on a roll and then they put a ham sandwich
No,
on it.
I've never experienced
Maybe
that.
it's I don't know. I'm
Is it
trying to
a
remember
Michigan
where.
thing?
I don't think it's. Maybe it's a West Virginia thing.
So I'll put like
I think
mayonnaise or a sauce or something. on
Comment
there, but I won't
below if you
do
know.
butter.
I just remember all the
butter on ham
the
is-
If you're a
salads.
church lady,
like ham salad,
We
egg
don't do enough
salad.
potlucks.
Like there'd be sandwiches that just had all the different
I love
salads on it.
ham salad. That is.
We used to
ham
do
salad is underrated.
Ham
It
salad.
is.
I
Yeah,
completely
for
ham
sure.
salad's so good, and egg salad too. I'm like every once in a
Right.
while. Just
I
made
had
a-
some
I
in
made egg salad this
I had
week.
some
It
in
was
Haiti that I
phenomenal.
thought for sure I was going to get like
Are you
super
sure it was
sick.
ham?
That's what I was told. It was a paste.
I've been
that was
hearing some
going
things about
on
Haiti
like
recently.
Yeah.
bread, and I thought for sure I was going to get sick. But actually, it was phenomenal.
Have you guys ever been to the chicken salad chick?
No, I've
She's
heard
getting a
that.
store now.
Yeah, I've
What's that?
heard it.
She's getting a store, like an actual store.
Like a store? Like
Yeah.
around here?
Over by like Costco and Chick-fil-A
Nice.
over there. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, chicken salad chick is really good.
Is it?
Yeah, that's one of our favorite places to go. But I don't know where the nearest one to here is. There's one in Mason and there's one down closer to Cincinnati.
Mason has
I like a good
everything.
chicken salad.
Should we try a transition again to
You keep trying. I mean,
keep
Speaking of
trying?
transitions.
So Sunday was Mother's Day. So
it was. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's
Happy
Day.
Day. If you are just now finding out
just-
that it was Mother's Day,
You should
are a
probably get your
horrible
mom
son.
a card.
Yeah.
Or daughter, I
Because by
guess.
the
Come
time
up with
they
a really
see this,
good
it's
excuse.
Wednesday.
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
You're just now learning.
At what
Your mom
frankly-
hates you.
Frankly, at this point, start planning for
You know,
next year.
if I set the bar low for when I give presents, then it's just normal. You know, it just becomes a normal thing.
Yeah,
I'm-
if you just
I'm not-
decide to be to
yeah, then you don't have
are you
to
really
live
a
up to
disappointment
anything.
at that point?
yes,
Okay, never mind. Bad strategy.
yes, I'm disappointed in all of you today.
So we had a lot. I mean, it had to be a record of kids dedicated. 23. I don't
I mean,
think
for
I've ever done
us,
that.
I don't know for the world.
We've not. We've called Guinness and
we
they are
has set a new world
yeah,
record.
No, I think it is for the church for sure. Yeah, at least in my time here.
Yeah. So, have a couple questions for you. So, what's our next sermon series about? What are we going to be doing in our next sermon series?
Our next sermon series is going to be on the book of Romans.
Okay.
And I don't. What's our tagline, John? Do we?
Romans.
As of now, it's righteousness revealed. But you had another one that
I
we
wanted it to be
teasing.
maybe God is right.
God is
but you
right.
kind of pushed back because that wasn't as.
Well, and we already made the graphic.
God is right. You are wrong. Romans.
I would go for God is right and you're wrong, or you're
Yeah.
wrong but God's right, or something like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a
you
little
are
too.
wrong.
You know,
We can make our
aggressive.
own bracelets.
Yeah.
Hand out at the
What
end.
would Jesus do? Not
is
what you're
right.
doing.
Yeah.
Actually, let's see. So the God is right. The acronym would be like GIR, like grrr. But if you add you are wrong, that's Yah.
Yes,
So,
Gurya. Gurya.
Sounds like something you'd say in Kentucky.
It sounds like something this new generation coming up would say.
Gurya.
Gur Yah, so good looking.
Gurya.
I don't even know where. I don't know where to take
no
this.
control. Romans. We're gonna do Romans.
Yeah. So
16 chapters of goodness.
I know.
Oh wait,
Romans is a
16
great-
chapters of gospel goodness.
Romans is a great book in the Bible.
Yeah,
it's a
it
great
is.
book. So I'm excited for the Romans series. It's not the first time we've done Romans
Yes,
here.
it is.
Oh, it is?
Yes, it
Is
is.
it really?
Yes.
So this is not the first sermon to ever be in Romans, but it's
Right.
the first
Yeah.
full Roman
Series. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, man, we've talked about Romans. We hit
'Cause we
verses.
It's
With the
hard
Roman
not to
Testament
talk
last
about
year.
Romans if
Right.
you're talking about Jesus.
Correct. Yeah, but we've never gone through it as a book study.
Okay. Great. So then what? I lost my question here. What makes Romans different from other books in the Bible?
Yeah.
Well, it's spelled different.
It is spelled different. Takes place.
named
It's
after a
written
city.
to a city in Rome.
No,
City in
the city
Rome.
is Rome.
A city in Rome.
Those
inside of
Romans
Rome.
in
Yes.
Rome.
Yeah.
All those cities.
We should call it "When in Romans" or something funny like that.
When in Romans.
When in Romans.
That's kind of that might have something. So what makes it different?
What makes it
so
different?
it's one of Paul's letters, but a lot of people think it's maybe his best letter, like it's his ultimate letter. It's certainly his
Pretty comprehensive.
Yeah, it's his most well crafted letter where he puts a lot into it. It's his longest letter, I think. Maybe 1 Corinthians is longer. I don't know, like word for word, but it's one of his longest letters for sure. But also one of the things that I like about Romans is that it's structured really, really well. So the first 11 chapters are really all about the gospel, right? And how the gospel changes us. And then 12 to 16 are now what? Right? And so chapter 12 leads with the word therefore, because it's like, now in light of everything you've learned, Romans 1 through 11, now therefore, what are you going to do? So we're actually going to study the book that way. So we're going to do this in 2 chunks. Our first chunk will be chapters 1 through 11, and then we're going to take a break and do a short series called Elephants, Donkeys, Sheep, and the Lamb.
Okay.
And then we'll come back to chapters 12 and beyond, which are more of the application of Romans. So it's a great book. Also, interestingly, Paul was writing to people he hadn't met. He knew a few people there, but he had never been to Rome. And so he didn't start the church in Rome. And so that's all a little bit different. And so some people have said one of the reasons he goes into such detail is because he's convincing them a little bit that he knows what he's talking about.
Right.
And so...
Well, we're all thankful for that.
Right, yeah. So it's a great book. It's a deep book. We'll struggle a little bit with, Paul's wordiness because he sometimes writes these really long run-on sentences. But
I have no problem with that at all.
Yeah, well,
I love run-on sentences.
We'll talk about that, and it'll be a good time.
Great. So it's kind of a, you said there's change involved in Rome, right? The first half is how does Jesus change us?
How's the gospel
change us? So that kind of, to me, brings up the sermon you just did on Sunday because it was all about change. So can you, that was my favorite point was at the end that if we aren't changed by Jesus, are we really following Jesus?
Yeah.
So can you explain to me like a little bit more how did that point come out of the sermon?
Like yesterday?
Yes, yesterday's.
Because that was what I wanted to say.
That was what you wanted to say.
That's what I felt the Holy Spirit
Please
leading me to say.
Repeat the whole
because
sermon.
I think that's that's kind of the main point. Anytime you talk about change, right?
Yeah.
If you're talking about change, like the point of the verses that we read was you had these 3 women that had been changed by Jesus, right? And the only reason they're mentioned is because they'd been changed by Jesus, because who cares if there's 3 women who haven't been changed by Jesus, right? So I think, when you talk about have you been changed by Jesus, that goes hand in hand with have you met Jesus?
Yeah.
And, what's the point in meeting him if he doesn't change you? In fact, if you have met him and he hasn't changed you, then you haven't probably really met him. So
I'll also like to say because I feel like maybe, in my middle school, high school years, I met Jesus, but I didn't really start following him. And that's when to me, when you start actually living it out is when you should start changing.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you can drill down if you want to, make it more kind of organized and programmatic. And some people like that. You can say, what is change? And change is either adding something or subtracting something or increasing something or decreasing something.
Yeah.
And so then you get to the, really formulaic way of thinking about what it means to follow Jesus. And that works for some, it doesn't work for others. But it's a really great idea to think, when Jesus changes me, what am I adding? What am I subtracting? What am I increasing? What am I decreasing? And if I can't point to anything of those things, then I'm not following him.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think there's this thing where we say, when you come to Christ and you start that relationship, you say, hey, God, I'm going to make you the Lord of my life. I'm going to submit to your ways over my ways. But then if I don't change and it just so happens that I convince myself that all the things I was already doing or not doing or the way I was living is how God wants it, then I didn't actually make him God. I just, I'm choosing to live under my own ruling still, and I'm trying to transplant those onto God's ways.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times I see people do that Jesus is Lord. but I made Jesus actually a copy of me. I didn't actually submit to the real person of Jesus.
Yeah.
And,
Hashtag Jesus, which means nothing, right?
Yeah. My Jesus. I hear, that's.
Yeah. So I'll just commercial real quick for the Renew Journal, because I think this week's Renew Journal is really helpful. really dives down into the idea of what it means to be changed. And so you're exploring passages from 2 Corinthians, from Colossians, from Ephesians, that all deal with this question of what does it actually mean to be changed. And actually there's one study from Romans 12. So
Yeah.
Intro Romans again. But so yeah, if you don't do the Renew Journal, this week's would be a great week to start with.
Yeah. So to me, it's one of those things where, if you don't come to church that often, so, you have the Christmas and Easter, but I think you also have the Christmas, Easter, and Mother's Day
So
people.
what do you call them?
Mother? I don't know.
Cremothers?
I don't know.
CEOMs,
Creaster moms.
CEMOs.
I don't know.
Yeah, but so you have you have people that come those days, and if following Jesus is just about the words that you say or a one-time moment, then you're never really going to get the lifelong benefits of actually following Jesus, which takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy. It takes effort and a lot of pain along the way. Of it's not easy to change.
Right.
So, in order to really truly experience what it means to follow Jesus, we have to change. And I think,
Yeah.
there's a view in here of, people wanting to, have the least amount of pain in their life. And I think we say this a lot, that going through pain is actually part of God's plan for us to change.
Yeah, the Bible never tells us to avoid pain. It never tells us to be
Yeah.
comfortable. Never tells us to be
Right.
safe.
And kids are really good life lessons on all of those things of change. And
My kids bring me nothing but
joy, yeah.
Nothing but joy.
I
Ever.
would agree. I agree with
never have they been
Yeah.
anything but joy.
I would agree with
Ever.
that, but it's more of me having to go through those things. I'm not putting it on them. I'm definitely saying it's myself having to change to become a good parent, and all the other things you're not aware of when you become a parent and you learn over time. Yeah. Great. Well, I think we've accomplished everything that we wanted
Are we
to.
going to have to do this again?
Yes, 2 more times at least.
Yes.
Wait, no, 3 times.
No, 2 more times. Next week is going to be all the semifinals, and then the last week of May will
okay.
be the finals.
Okay, so 2 more
I wonder
times.
if I'll be here next week.
You might.
I think I have an appointment that I'm going to make right now.
I think I have a really busy week next week, so I probably won't make the
Your
podcast.
loss, I guess.
Yeah. I'll just think of you guys.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, tune back in next week to see if David will be here or not. Thanks for joining us. Bye.